Welcome back to the Max Championship Day on Shaw TV. We are scoreless after 20 minutes at the Scotiabank Saddledome. Now it is with heavy hearts that the Russians return to the Max Midget Tournament this year. Players and coaches from the Severstal Locomotiv team remember hockey's darkest day, the September plane crash that claimed the lives of 36 members of the KHL's Locomotiv team. So for this young Russian hockey team, hockey is the easiest part of this tournament.
We have 9 hours drive with a bus to St. Petersburg. So then 3 hours flight from St. Petersburg to Calgary, then 3 hours in the waiting hall of the airport, Frankfurt, and then another 11 hours flight from Frankfurt to Calgary. At 1:05 we were at the airport. So at 2 we were at the reception. At 3 had a lunch at the noodle factory, and at 6:30 we have an exhibition game in Strasbourg. Our team is right now first in the Western Conference and first in the whole league of Russia. It's really a good team. We have a really good team. And starting from 2006, this is our forthcoming. Oh, it was on the 7th of September when I was told that there was an airplane crash, and some of the guys are injured. Of the Locomotiv guys are injured. So and then probably in half an hour or so, I was told that everybody is dead. So it was unbelievable. I was shocked. Like everybody was shocked. It wasn't true. It shouldn't be true. Everybody was so upset because everybody has very good friends from Locomotiv, because we are really a neighbor city. So many young guys were died at this airplane crash. They were 18, 19, 20 years old. The whole team Severstal was at this funeral, and then in 2 days the KHL season started. They're good kids, and also their badges, I think that they could just remember, so that everything could happen, and you have to do every day you have to do some for hockey, right? So they're full of emotions, and I think that they're thinking about the games, about the goals, and other stuff. Okay. So the guys are so exciting about this. It's a very strong. These are very strong teams, and I think it's a very good experience for the kids. So, to represent Russia and the Severstal as well.
Now the Severstal Locomotiv team has a website where you can make donations to the survivors of the Yaroslавl plane tragedy. You can find the link on the Max Tournament website. More of our intermission show coming up next. You are watching the Max Midget Championship Day on Shaw TV. Website for the Max Tournament is maxtournament.ab.ca, where you can find all of the tournament information and again the place to donate to the Yaroslавl plane tragedy. Speaking of Max, I have Max Marketing Manager for Max Convenience Stores here, Ron Thompson. You have a special message to all our hockey fans out there tonight.
Yes, I'd just like to, on behalf of the Max store operators and their staff, I'd like to wish everyone a very happy New Year this year.
We had an exciting game earlier this afternoon at the women's final. What did you think of that overtime win?
Well, it was, it's always great when two teams are so evenly matched in a final. Here we are sitting at a male final with a 0-0 after one, and it's just one of those things that as a tournament organizer, you can't ask for a better thing than very close competition for the final games.
What's been the biggest surprise for you at this year's tournament?
Biggest surprise? I don't know if there are any surprises. We get lots of things thrown at us all the time that no one else seems to see, but we kind of manage through them. So yeah, no, it's good.
We have a Russian team here in the final after a few years of being absent. How important is it to have that international component?
We feel it's very important. We'd like to see a Russian and a European and an American contingent show up at the Max every year, and certainly hope that the future years, especially with our 35th anniversary coming, we want to make sure that we have one international team in every pool. So that's very important to us.
Now, before the break, we saw a feature on the Locomotiv plane tragedy. How important was it for the Max tournament to get behind in their fundraising efforts?
Oh, whatever the causes are that these young people are going through or are looking to do, we want to be there to assist in any way we can. And not only from a Max convenience store perspective, but the tournament is very concerned. And one of the reasons we have this tournament is to showcase these young people and make sure that they get a fair shake when it comes to scholarships and all those sorts of things.
Now, you mentioned earlier about the 35th year next year. Any sneak peek at the celebrations or anything that we can expect?
No, I can't let anything out of the bag yet. I definitely know that it's going to be something that the fans are going to appreciate, and certainly the players from an experience standpoint are going to appreciate. 35 years is a pretty good milestone.
Has there been a highlight at the 34th annual Max tournament for you, a specific game or a specific goal?
No, I think the introduction of our female scholarship is a really big highlight for me. It's something that we've been striving for a number of years now. I'm just really glad to see it's happened, and we have our first three award winners being presented earlier today, and that's very exciting. And another thing is a good friend of mine is the tournament chairman, Byron Stevens. To see him take on the chairmanship role, that's been very exciting for me too.
Now, not many people know that the Max tournament is run exclusively by volunteers.
Yes.
Where would we be this week without them?
We'd be in a lot of trouble. Thank you to all 1,500 of you, because you certainly have made this a tournament for these players that we'll remember, and one that City of Calgary can be proud of being part of.
Now, the Max is known for future stars in the making. How would you rate this year's talent?
Oh, I think there's a lot of really, really good players. I'm not going to single any one of them out. You've seen some very showcased players in each and every pool that we've had. They just the talent is here, and you will see these young people in further down the road.
After 20 minutes of play, we are scoreless, but
Yes.
What do you think of the game so far?
It's a great game. Like I say, both teams look very tired to me right now. I really hope they can pick it up and see it through the next two periods, but it's understandable. It's a long week of hockey.
Great. Thank you very much, Ron.
Thank you.
We'll go to break. After this, more Max Midget Hockey Tournament action.
Welcome back to Scotiabank Saddledome. Bill, no goals through the first 20, but no shortage of opportunities, especially for the Russian team.
Yeah, they're so skilled. They do so many little things well, and they bring their game over to this side of the ocean, if you will. Watch 14 on the far left of your screen. He's cutting over to the right side. Look how they fill the lanes. They do that so well. They force you to extend the coverage. They force a man one-on-one, and then he gets in behind. And this is, again, going to the net, but they did that because they had all the lanes filled. And you know what? They could confuse your coverage, too. We'll have you stop it right there. You got two UFA Bisons in white. You got two guys coming up the ice for Russia. Now watch what happens. You get the wrong guy chasing. They confuse your coverage. And once you're going back into your own zone chasing the Russians, you're really asking for trouble because they do get behind you. Then Russia goes on a power play. Watch this here now. Watch the goaltender. He's looking, stop it right there. Look at Sproul looking for that play at the point. He's got all kinds of traffic in front of him. Now on the power play, 2-man advantage, you want to stretch the ice one side or the other, get the goaltender moving right to left. Not Sproul. Does a good job of facing that cross-ice pass. He was terrific on that sequence. This was the best chance for the Bison. Connor Bleakley off the face-off shot. Only 3 shots on goal. That was one of them. You want strength? I'll show you some strength for you. Watch Evgeny Leeson on this play here, Peter. Behind the net, takes his man, and then gets it to the front of the net. You get a better look on this one. You want balance, you want strength. Body him off, make the pass. There's a chance, there's a scoring opportunity. And again, Sproul in good position to make the save.
No goals in the opening period. We'll be back with the second period of the Max Midget Tournament from Scotiabank Saddledome. You're watching on Shaw Television. Igor Petrov, the head coach of Severstal Locomotiv, had to be fairly pleased with the opening period. His team dominated, outshot Jeremy Friesen's team 8-3, but could not beat goaltender Wilson Sproul. Vasily Demchenko only faced 3. His toughest save, one off of Red Deer Rebels first rounder Connor Bleakley, who leads the Bisons in the tournament with 5 goals. Tikhonov was a force in the opening 20 minutes. Has a goal and an assist in the tournament. Just out of the reach for Evgeny Leeson. And icing the call 23 seconds in.
I found it interesting what the general manager of the Bison, Neil Leona, said earlier. His players peak at the beginning of the season. They dip around December, and then they peak again at the Max tournament. And again, I think it tells you an awful lot the importance that players and coaches and management of these teams put on the significance of this prize.
Well, the Bisons lost this final to the Vancouver Giants a couple of years ago. Bleakley shovels it for McAllister along with Ryland Muntrath, the other member of that trio. McAllister darts in behind Karnikov. Nikita Karnikov leaning on Mitchell McAllister. Muntrath. Cycle continues. McAllister protects it well. Still with it. Blocked by Karnikov, and he'll slide it out to neutral ice as Lenny Hackman shoots it right back in. 9th round pick of the Lethbridge Hurricanes in the 2010 Western Hockey League Bantam Draft. Chuvalayev had Buholtsev open, but well out of his reach. Kiselev crunched in the corner by Hackman. Chuvalayev with Habarov. And he's stripped by Valette, and then Betnall flips it out. Tyler Wong, for me, Bill, not noted generally for his physical play, but he's thrown his weight around in this game.
Yeah, that's right. Does a good job of body positioning, getting loose pucks, turning and getting turnovers.
Wong knocked down and out of play by Habarov.
You know, you talked about Connor Bleakley, Red Deer first round pick in 2011 draft, 21st overall. He joins, folks, Matt Dumba as a first rounder for the Red Deer Rebels. How about Ryan Nugent-Hopkins? How about Landon Ferrero? This guy's going to be a good hockey player. I love the way he plays. Big game in the semifinals against PA, by the way. Scored 2 of those 4 goals.
Nice move off the boards by Vartalnov to Nazarov. And a hooking call upcoming to the Bisons. Nikita Vartalnov.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is a scoring chance that's taken away, and that's a result of, or the reason for that penalty or not. But again, there's the sign. You saw it. Obviously, there's the infraction. And again, they try to get it from that spot to there. Boy, I'll tell you, he had a lot of time to tee that puck up, didn't he? Nazarov. Don't know how he just missed redirecting that puck, but the penalty, I think, happened on the chase into the corner.
Bechtold the penalty, another Russian power play. Baldaev and Wilson Sproul had a real good look at it, and that's one of his easier saves of the game.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's, Baldaev, the shot from the point, he's a -1, and he's got 14 penalty minutes in the tournament. He leads his team in both of those. You don't ever want to be a minus unless you're playing golf, but yeah, that was an easy save.
Tikhonov shot, hit a body. Ferguson around Vorobiev, and then one hands it out of the zone. Russians' 4th power play. 2 of them were less than 30 seconds long in the first period. Sherov misses Tikhonov, and the Russians having a little trouble getting organized on this one. Baldaev, good stick that time from Devin Westby, who breaks it up and shoots it down the ice.
You've got a chance, Peter, if you can read a little bit where maybe the team is going to pass the puck. Just get there a little bit sooner. That's where you want if you're the penalty killers, you want that power play way down there, 200 feet from your net.
Sherov into the zone, around the defenseman Sherov, and Wilson Sproul again with a good stop. Sherov to Artem Vorobiev. Pershin now walks the line, dishes Vorobiev, wrist shot in the shooting lane with a good block. Bednall and Nerland is able to chop it out of the zone. Vorobiev again, backhand pass, knocked away by Hackman. And it was Hackman with the solid shot block seconds earlier. Good shift for Hackman. Bednall, a heavy collision with Denis Buholtsev. Nerland tempted to clear it out. Montrath bodied by Chuvalayev. Chuvalayev, Vartalnov wasted no time on the one-timer and just missed. Nikita Vartalnov, 4 goals in the tournament. He's shifty. And Sproul tested again.
Just a terrific play to find guys open and get pucks to the open guy. I think this is the one. Watch this pass in the corner of the rink, Peter. From that spot to there. I mean, how do you just read that play so perfectly to get it to a guy that's got a little bit of time and a little bit of space to get that shot away like Vartalnov did on that play? But that was a terrific feed.
Vartalnov again driving the net. It's loose. And Sproul able to freeze it against the post as Nikita Vartalnov continues to be an offensive threat.
Yeah, and at that size, 5'10", 160, he's going to do nothing but get bigger. But, he's able to take pucks to the net. Really, the reason it's 0-0, shots at 3 right now, 11-3 on goal, is the goaltender Wilson Sproul. He's clinical right now.
Named the All-Star goaltender during the first period intermission, and not hard to see why. Tyler Haste for Parker Evans Campbell, and this is where the Russians want to turn you over. Vartalnov again. That one sails well high and wide. The line of Nazarov, Vartalnov, and Habarov have been the Russians' best trio so far.
That turnover, like you said, Peter, exactly into the neutral ice area. I think it's only a real good play by Devin Westby, closing the gap. Watch it coming to far left of your screen. He jumps up right there and forces that shot wide. He forced the shooter quicker than he wanted to get rid of the puck, but again, the result of the turnover.
Oleg Dubinin, he had a great chance in the first. Buholtsev quickly the side of the net. And Sproul dives on the loose puck.
I like what Tommy McVie, you remember him? You had much to do with him?
Yes.
I loved what he said about turnovers. He said they're much like ex-wives. The more you make, the more you have, the more they cost you. You've got to be very, very careful about putting that puck into somebody in the neutral ice. And sometimes, Peter, the turnover results from carrying the puck a little too long.
There's one I won't forget.
The more you have, the more they cost you.
Okay, then, back to hockey.
Was he any good at the one-liner?
Ooh, Tommy McVie?
Oh, yeah.
He's got the greatest voice in hockey.
Does he ever?
Montrath shoots it in. McAllister in deep on the forecheck. Still looking for our first goal of this 34th Max Midget International Tournament Final. Dubinin Oleg Dubinin blocked by Dale Nerland, the 17-year-old defenseman from Foothills. Dubinin, Gimbatov scores! Ahmed Gimbatov from a sharp angle, and the Russians strike first.
There's a scramble in the corner to the right side of Sproul, and you give the Russians a couple chances. They're going to get it into the corner on the right side of your screen. That's a 3-on-2, good coverage, width and depth of the ice, but they win the battle coming up here, there, and they just get it to the net. Probably, maybe, the only one that Sproul would want back a little bit on that one. Gimbatov gets it to the net. I think it bounces off. Sproul will get a good look here. I think it might just catch him off the pads. He loses the angle ever so slightly, loses the body position just a bit, and pays for it as Russia takes a 1-0 lead.
Number 15,
Ahmed Gimbatov, his fourth of the tournament, has opened the scoring here in the final. Dubinin draws an assist. Tyler Wong right back, and there's an excellent toe save from Vasily Demchenko. Excellent response for the Bisons. Betnal to Brody Villette with Tyler Wong. Wong in the corner. Wong fans on a shot, and here's Vorobiev trying to get loose. Vorobiev to Kiselev. Vorobiev, big save by Sproul, who kicked out the right pad to Rob Vorobiev. As Hayes will clear it off Sharov, right on Demchenko. Gimbatov from Dubinin has opened the scoring here in the second. Massey pulled down in the corner with some help from O'Rourke. Bechtold, Alex Bechtold. Around Tikhonov. O'Rourke into the corner. Kevin O'Rourke, one hands it to Alex Bechtold. Bechtold on the cycle. Has it again to the right point, Chandler Irvin, and that shot is blocked and flipped out by Sharov. Shots on goal, 12-5 in favor of Severstal Locomotiv. Vasily Habarov loses the handle at the line. Hackman in tight quarters, lost it. Chuvalayev, backhander, and Sproul. Another terrific save as he stayed right with Artur Chuvalayev. Habarov wins a race to a loose puck. Habarov hits Lenny Hackman with that pass. Hackman to O'Rourke. Can't clear the zone. Baldayev, a rolling puck. Dubinin again. It's been Dubinin's best game of the tournament. Right in front, and Sproul kicked that out too. Russians still pressing. O'Rourke wants to ice it. Unable to. Chuvalayev wins a battle on the boards. Chuvalayev, he's hooked and then embellished it. I wonder if they're both going to get penalties. Yes, they are.
That's a call being made so often now, no question. It's a good one to make on that when you get to diving as well. Just so good at both ends of the ice, Peter. They were terrific in their own zone. They came up the ice, and you know there was a turnover. Watch this when you hang on to the puck a little bit too long. And very quickly, I talked about it all night, they'll get pucks in behind your coverage. That was an unfortunate turnover, and then how quickly they get that puck behind them, and in the same sequence, they draw the penalty, the Russians do, because again, of that good skating. They force you to cover. If you're going to stay with the man-to-man, you got to stay with the man-to-man. They'll make you pay for reaching and you know, for using your stick when really you got to get in lanes. You've got to cut lanes to the net. That's the important thing. And sometimes, Pete, all you got to do is delay access. Access delayed is often access denied. That's harder to do against this Russian team than you think.
Glove pass, coincidental penalties to the Bisons. Parker Evans-Campbell and then Artur Chuvalayev for embellishing and an unsportsmanlike penalty. The teams play 5-on-5, not 4-on-4 in this situation. Ferguson to Tyler Hayes, backhands it in.
Number 32,
Bleakley. Connor Bleakley in the corner with Ryland Muntrath.
25.
McAllister scoots after a loose puck, wins the race. Bleakley loses the handle of Evgeny Leeson to Vorobiev. Vorobiev with Sherov and Leeson. And Sproul hangs onto it.
You know, even that little sequence there, Vorobiev runs into all kinds of traffic. It looks like there's at least 2, if not 3, UFA Bisons around him, and he still manages to shuffle that puck, just kind of get it to somebody, you know, who gets it to the net. And that's why the face-off to the left of that young man there, Sproul's had himself a heck of a game.
Wilson Sproul turning aside 13 of the 14 that he's faced, and many of a difficult variety.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's not just 14 shots. It's probably 7 or 8 scoring chances.
Yet he'd love to have the one back that beat him.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yes. Irvin into the zone, the defenseman. To Wong. Looks at Irvin. Chandler Irvin. Bednall had an empty net, but it just rolled past his stick. Josh Bednall. Bumped down by Baldaev. Tikhonov. Upended by Wong, who continues to throw his weight around. Tyler Wong protects it on the boards. The Lethbridge 5th rounder. His shot is blocked. Vartelnov settles things down to Mikhail Tikhonov, and Kiselev trying to deflect it out but can't. Lenny Hackman, a good play to hold it in. Can feel the momentum turning here a little bit. Wong's shot deflected. And Vartelnov will carry it to center. Bechtold stripped his man and then ran right into Mikhail Tikhonov. Habarov with a little room. Habarov off of Dale Nerland's stick. Nerland, a product of Okotoks. Nazarov failed to take the puck with him, and back comes Kevin Massey. The Russian stick so active, Bill, in the neutral zone.
Very good, Peter. That's exactly right.
Although they've just taken a tripping penalty. Nikita Vartelnov on his way to the penalty box. Gimbatov has given the Russians the lead here in the final of the Max Midget Tournament on Shaw. Head coach of the UFA Bisons in his first year at the helm, Jeremy Friesen, joins us. Jeremy, your thoughts on the first half of this hockey game?
So far, we just haven't got our feet moving or our forecheck game going. So I think we're on our heels a little bit here. They've got a lot of speed through the neutral zone, and we're turning the puck over way too many times here. So we've got to tighten up and start attacking and playing our game.
How difficult is it to deal with this team's transition game?
They're quick. They don't really look. They just put pucks into spots, and they know they have their people there. So we've got to do a better job of clogging up the middle and taking that away.
We'll let you get back to the power play. Thanks, Jeremy.
Thanks, Pete.
Well, Peter, this is a power play. His team is going to go on. Kevin O'Rourke goes knee on knee against Vartelnov, coming up right there. Clearly, and just maybe missed knee on knee. Certainly a trip, but really important power play at this point for the Bison.
Ahmed Gimbatov's 4th of the tournament has Severstal Locomotiv in front. Power play chance for UFA, but Sherov shorthanded with Leeson, and these two are always dangerous regardless of the situation. Owen Ferguson, the 17-year-old defenseman, to Tyler Haste. Ferguson to center, and he'll shoot it in. Karnakov into the corner. McAllister awaits. And Persson will skate it out. Russians with an odd man rush developing here. Short-handed Leeson. And blocking that was Ferguson. Leeson with 7 points in the tournament. I think I've been as impressed with him as any forward for the Russians on this team. Bednall scampers in and then knocked away by Persson. The Russians not allowing much in terms of attack. Baldaev to Persson on this penalty kill. Irvin has it hop over stick. Here comes Vorobiev, and a nice recovery by Chandler Irvin, as Vorobiev was ready to pounce on that loose puck.
I'm going to show you on the penalty kill here, puck pressure by the Russian team, and this is what you talked about. They're dangerous. Coming up the ice, there's puck pressure there, They pressure the puck in that spot. Goes in the corner. They're going to pressure the puck there. They're killing the penalty, folks. Some more puck pressure there, and eventually where does it go? It goes down and out of the zone. That's exactly what you were talking about. Active sticks, good body position. They're aggressive even on a penalty kill.
Irvin moves laterally. He scored in the semifinal win yesterday against Prince Albert. Bechtold redirected it. Buholtsev away from Parker Evans Campbell, and this is Tyler Wong. Wong to the line, runs into Vorobiev. Has it again, however. Tyler Wong. Evans Campbell on the exchange with Wong on the power play to Chandler Irvin. His wrist shot, and there to block it is Buholtsev. And the Russians' penalty is over, and here's Vartalnov onside, and Sproul comes up with another big save off Nikita Vartalnov. Bechtold in quite a tussle and wins it against Vartalnov. But Vartalnov steals it right back into the slot area, and he's double teamed by Wong and Bechtold, who skates it out. Look out. Pershin, a big shoulder hit on Alex Bechtold. Been a frustrating night for the Bisons.
It's a traffic jam, and nobody likes traffic jams. Look at that, two guys right on the puck. There's a puck almost turned over in a neutral ice area. This has got to get on the net, Peter.
O'Rourke shot deflected weak and wide. Aaron Macklin, and the Russians there at every turn right now. Vasily Habarov. And Nerlin with a good stick at the line. Gimbatov with a lone goal here in the second. A sharp angle shot. He's got it again. Keeps it alive. Wittenberg off the high glass. Still inside the zone. And Sproul gloves the shot by Habarov.
You talk about stretching the ice. You know, if they can stretch the ice when it's 4-on-4 or 5-on-5, how about a guy coming out of the penalty box really stretching the ice? Here's a headman pass to Vartalnov, and he's that close. He stays on side. And look at the positioning of the goaltender, Sproul. Really, absolutely no angle at that spot. The only way you're going to beat him is you got to get some sort of a deke where you get him moving one way. Nice job by that young man. I didn't see this in this Russian team last night. And you warned me. You warned me all day yesterday.
I did, because I've seen it all week long.
Yeah, you said, Bill, you're going to like this Russian team. He looked offside of me on that play, but I'm not too sure. It was a heck of a lot of skill involved in any case, isn't it? Yeah, no, they come as advertised, and it's a credit to the Bison at this point. They're being outshot 15-5, and they only trail 1-0. It's just that they're... Wow, nice in that big save, Peter.
Off Sharov. As Leeson won the draw.
Like to see him get a few more chances, team in white, the Bison.
Rylan Muntraff, he loses the handle. The Russians' backtracking, Bill, in the neutral zone has been about as good as it can be, hasn't it?
Well, you know what the thought kind of went through my mind. I mean, we don't want to glorify this team to the ridiculous levels. There's a ton of hockey left. This isn't even an over game by any stretch of the imagination. But I've seen a lot of WHL teams not play that well.
Demchenko was so good in the playoffs. Not been tested a lot so far. Wong with Brody Villette and Josh Bettenall. Karnakov in the corner. Pershin there as well, so's Wong. Villette comes away, Irvin jumps in from the right point with a pass off the skate of Buholtsev right to Vasily Demchenko.
Yeah, there's a battle won by the Bison. I got to hand it, they do battle. They're not by any stretch of the imagination out of this hockey game, but they haven't won a lot of these battles against the back wall. They do there, and they do get a chance, that throw that puck into the crease that Demchenko didn't really have any trouble with.
The Bisons, I would say, not overly blessed with skill necessarily, but they're well coached, they're well structured, and they work.
And they got a lot of heart. You're absolutely right.
And that's been the case all season long in the Alberta Midget League.
Peter, they only gave up 8 goals in the round robin, and that's 4 games. So I don't think there's a coach that goes into that tournament does say, give me a 2 goals against average, I'll take it.
The little guy between the pipes, he's a bit of a reason for that too.
Yep.
Nerland in good puck position to knock Habarov off the disc. Macklin turns and fires, hits the linesman. Might have been icing. Betnall carries on, and Tikhonov in good position, as he is on the shot by Aaron Macklin. Wittenberg clears it in and heads off. Demchenko behind the net. Westby thought he won a race, and Tikhonov swings it out to center. Can start to feel the forecheck game of the Bisons getting a little better here. Tipped by Macklin, right to Demchenko.
Yeah, Tyler Hayes with a good play at center ice area, you know, break that play up. Yeah, no, I agree with you. You know, when you've got a team, you know, as skilled at this point as this Russian team is, you want to come back at them and take. You want positive shifts. If you can get 2 or 3 shifts where the line following the shift that's out there continues what the previous shift did, you get some momentum change. That's what they need.
No icing, right to Sproul, and no chances with Buhalsev bearing down on him.
Sproul was 59 saves on 63 shots in the quarters and the semis. I'll let people at home get their calculator out to figure out that save percentage, but I can assure you it's certainly in the 90s, probably around that 92, 93 area.
Off the draw, another chance for Vartalnov, who has probably been the best Russian forward in this game. And Bill, another thing I've been noticing, the Russians are also adding to their puck possession by winning a lot of face-offs.
Yeah, we'll show you exactly what happened there. And again, Sproul is really left all by himself. This is a face-off you're talking about. You know, all you have to do is even draw on a face-off, tie it, create a loose puck.
This time, McAllister does well. Muntrath trying to steer it out. On the stick of Mitchell McAllister for Chandler Irvin. To Ryland Muntrath onside, and then ran into Nikita Karnakov. Pretty good name for a defenseman.
Sounds tough.
Sounds like he likes to hit, and he does. A race for it. Sharov won't get there in time. 3 minutes to go in the second period, and the goal by Ahmed Gimbatov, standing tall.
One shot. You're the coach of the Bison, Jeremy Friesen. You keep telling your guys that are sending out. I mean, you're only 1 shot behind. That's all it is. There again, that's one of those face-off wins, and look at this.
Chuvalayev. His shot scores! Artur Chuvalayev found the 5-hole, and the Russians lead us 2.
Wow. That's a couple things. That's a face-off win. That's unbelievable explosiveness, getting out of the zone. There's no chance you're going to win that race. And the third thing on that play, it's a pretty good shot too, isn't it? Kaboom! Wow. You know, and even Sproul gets a piece of that. You know, that puck, that's not a case of losing the angle, Peter. That's just a case of the puck driving right through the goaltender.
Second of the tournament for Chuvalayev, who was injured and did not even play in the semifinal win over St. Albert last night. Didn't help that the one Bison defenseman blew a tire either, Bill, off the face-off.
Well, that was the only chance they had on that particular play, is to make sure, you know, that you were in position to join that race. That's where it really happened. Far left side, the defenseman, not sure I got his number, but you can tell by what's happening at that point, folks, there, that it's going to be a Bison power play because of the interference call there. Pretty good body position, though.
Captain Artem Vorobyov in the penalty box, and a chance for the Bisons late in the period to draw within 1. They could use one. Bleakley to Lenny Hackman. Bleakley with a great shot. Toe drag, stopped by Demchenko after a fine move from Connor Bleakley.
Terrific puck possession, terrific skating. Good shot.
Pershin backhands it. McAllister keeps it in. Hackman, his shot, didn't get much on it, and an easy glove save for Vasily Demchenko.
Again, in the face-off circle. This is a face-off that the Bison win. You can see Bleakley getting it back to the point. Back to Bleakley now. Close the gap a little bit. What a wonderful fake. Beautiful toe drag as Karnakov is taken right out of the play. Allowed Bleakley the shot.
Bleakley shows why he was a first-round Western Hockey League draft pick. And has it again. Bleakley, pass turned into a shot on goal, and Demchenko with one of his better saves.
You know, when you haven't had a lot happening in your net, and you're Demchenko, and all of a sudden you got to come up with two pretty big saves. You got to stay focused.
Wong shoots it in. Tikhonov kicks it, not out. McAllister now. Mitchell McAllister, his wrister, and it's blocked by Baldayev. Betnal puts on the brakes. Bleakley supports the puck and it rolls to McAllister. To Tyler Wong. Wong in the face-off circle. His wrister blocked. Bleakley from a sharp angle tried to squeeze it through. Demchenko got a piece. And now Bukaltsev dealing with Bleakley. Back comes Irvin. Blocked by Tikhonov. Tikhonov's been terrific in this game. Parker Evans Campbell. Macklin going to the net. Pace, good stick from guess who? Mikhail Tikhonov. That guy has been everywhere in this game.
And the thing is, you know, when you're looking obviously as scouts do, is you're playing both sides of the puck. Good offensively, good defensively. What kind of skills have you got that might be exposed at the next level?
Power play now over. Vorobiev back on the ice. Bechtold's pass on the stick of Artem Vorobiev. And he's content to flip it high and out of the zone. The Russians with 2 second period goals. Gimbatov's fourth and Artur Chuvalaev's second have them in command in this Max tournament final. Sharov. Macklin sends it to the neutral zone. And the UFA Bisons, Bill, hoping that there's a repeat of one night ago, because one night ago in this building, the Russian national junior team led the Swedes 3-0, only to lose that game 4-3 in overtime. The Bisons will need that kind of a third period to knock off an excellent Russian team here tonight.
Well, clearly the guy that probably gives them the best chance, or certainly gave him the best chance, is Connor Bleakley. I loved what he did that period. I loved the chances that he had. He was probably by far the most dangerous Bison, and if that rest of that team in white there can kind of, you know, take a little bit of a lesson from him in terms of how to get pucks to the net, taking pucks to the net, they may have a chance. But the shots are 18-9, and really not a lot of scoring chances, because I think we've seen this Russia team pretty good on both sides of the puck.
2-0. Jeremy Friesen's UFA Bisons trail. They're 5-0-1 in the tournament. The Russians have yet to lose, and with us is Nikita Vartalnov. Nikita, pretty good 2 periods, don't you think, for your group?
Yeah, I think so.
What has allowed you guys to take the lead here tonight?
I don't know, like we have a lot of shoots, a lot of checks. We play good defense. I think this one.
Thank you so much. Best of luck in the third.
Yeah, thank you very much. Bye.
Pete, you know what was impressive about that? He was the first to allude to good defense. You love that in players.
He's been very good despite the fact that he's himself not on the scoreboard. The Russians are, and they're in command of this Max tournament final on Shaw.